Is Bruce Baker from Newcastle University, UCU. Bruce, please.
Thanks, Andrew. I'm on the UCU National Executive Committee, and I've been active in UCU for about 15 years since I arrived in this country. I really enjoy the routine, tedious work of trade unionism. I enjoy talking about policies and sorting things out, and I think I have a reputation as the kind of calm guy in the room, the guy you can do business with, and so forth. But I am not calm today. I don't want to be here. I shouldn't have to be here at another rally 18 months on, making another speech to all of my trade union brothers and sisters and my students about the same issues that brought us here. I don't know if I can make a coherent speech because I'm so angry. Are you angry as well? And I'm angry because the people who run our universities have lied to us over and over again. We've reached the limit of our patience. Let me say a bit about the pension dispute, but I mostly want to talk about what I think is at stake in the pension and pay and casualization workload and gender pay equality dispute in this strike. Last year, we went through this in weather that was much worse than this, and we established beyond any doubt that we were right, the employers were wrong, there was no reason for any detriment to our pension. We refused to capitulate. And yet, we went back to work in good faith, believing that the employers would implement what we had agreed. They have refused. How does that make you feel? Because it makes me pretty damn angry. And let me be blunt. The whole sorry saga of USS over the past 2 years shows that the top levels of both USS and Universities UK suffer from either gross incompetence or massive corruption. Take your pick. They had a year and a half to sort it out, and they haven't. So we are going to sort it. They think they can write it out and carry on business as usual, and good luck with that. I think we see today, with more than 2.5 times the number of people on our picket line this morning that we had the first day of the last strike, that this is not business as usual. And yet, what response have we had to this from our vice chancellors? Nothing. For all their lofty visions, they do as they are told by UCU and Universities UK, whatever the consequences for their institutions and communities. And that, my friends, is not leadership. If vice chancellors will not stand up for their universities, then we will. Whose university is it? Is it Bill Galvin's? Is it David Eastwood's? Is it the vice chancellor's? No, it's our university. Our university. So what is at stake in this strike? I'm not talking about the details of the disputes. We know those. I'm talking about the larger context. We're told to be realistic when we're supposed to see our wages decline as our workloads increase, as we hope we might get a solid job we can count on, as we try to plan for how to get by and pay our rent when we're too old and tired to keep up this killing pace. There is no alternative, they tell us. Let me tell you clearly, and I hope every vice chancellor is listening, this is the moment when we, the people who make the universities run, when we seize control back once and for all. We will say what is possible and what is realistic. Who controls our universities? We do. Our employers need to settle this dispute quickly before they do more damage to our universities. There's a level of anger and bitterness in this strike that wasn't here in 2018. There's no excuse for being at this point again, and our vice chancellors know it. Every hour we're on the picket line is doing permanent and potentially irreparable damage to the collegiality and goodwill our universities are built on. If we go back to work 8 days from now without solving these problems, everything will be different from then on. Is this a threat? You bet it is, but it's also just a simple statement of fact. Can you work in a spirit of collegiality with a university management that thinks it is okay to let your pay slide further and further behind every year? Can you have goodwill towards an institution that strings people along on casual contracts year after year, that can't be bothered to take concrete steps to ensure that everyone is paid the same for the same work, whatever differences of gender, race, ethnicity, or disability? Can you do that little bit extra to help out over and over again, knowing that there's no way to get your job done in the hours that you're paid for? Stealing time from yourself and your family to give to ungrateful managers. And again, let me spell it out. Vice chancellors are risking the permanent loss of goodwill and collegiality. And let me say something else. This doesn't just go for the vice chancellors. This goes for all of our colleagues who are working right now in order to break this strike. There's a word that my regional official probably doesn't want me to use in this context because it's not nice. But I want the sausage, chips, and beans brigade to think very hard about the decision they're making, because it will be very difficult to work together in the future. I love my job. I think the job that I do and the job that all of you do is important. I think we all love our jobs. I'm good at my job. It gives me a source of great pride in my life. But if we can't change our universities, I want out. I won't stay and waste my life in the universities that David Eastwood, Adam Tickell, and Bill Galvin want me to work in. Life is simply too short. I'm from the American South, and I'll close with a direct question for our vice chancellors. It's a question that came out of the 1931 miners' strike in Harlan County, Kentucky. Florence Reese, who was the wife of a union organizer, wrote a song, and the song poses a very simple and stark question that our vice chancellors need to answer, and that is, which side are you on?
Downright Bruce, which side are these people on? And let this be the moment that we take back control over what happens in the universities.